So it's the same format we're going to follow. So I'm going to go to content here and then loop through this. So I'll put an if statement here just to make sure we only loop if things are good. So if this is an array, so matches, if you look here for a second, matches is an array which in the 0 it contains another array of 2 items. So we have to reference it as matches 0. That's what we are looking for, right? The first item in this matches contains an array of data. So that's what we're looking for. So we want to loop through this. So I'm going to say if is array. I just want to make sure that before we do anything, this is an actual array like that. Okay, good. Then let's loop through this array. So matches 0. Don't forget that 0 because it's the first item, which is an array. We don't need the key, we just need that image like so. So we'll call it an image tag like this. So that image tag, now we want to extract some more data. So I'm going to say preg match here. Now I don't need to use preg match or, because there's only ever one source tag at any given moment in an image. So we don't need preg match or. And then here the subject is the image tag, the current image tag we are dealing with. Okay, and then of course we want to capture the matches like that. Now remember that we are already using matches here, even here. So here we're gonna call it a different name, source match like that. Okay, cool. Now what are we looking for? We're looking for what says source and equal, and then a double quote like that. Where is this? Now the double quote causes problems because there's another double quote here, which means it's a special character. So we'll escape it like that. So once we find that source, we want to continue until we find another quote. So exactly what we did there, we're going to do that. But in this case, we are looking for another quote like that. But we have to put the caret there to tell it any character that isn't this. So if you want to try this, again, you can go to that website and let's try and put it in here. And you will notice that it will capture only the source. You see here data file is equal to has not been captured. So let's go up here and see where it started from. Looking for where it isn't blue anymore. Wow, this is a lot of data. I'm just scrolling away here endlessly. Okay, let's just go to the top. And as you can see, it starts from source is equal to, and it captures everything in there. And that's what we want. So we get the source, that's good. Now, we just have to, from that source, to remove data, image JPEG. Wait. Yeah, we have to remove everything from here to there. So I want to do a, what do you call that? Let's say an explosion, to explode 2 parts using this comma base 64, because I know that it won't always be image JPEG, it may be image PNG, image GIF, and so on. So that may change, but this part that says base 64 comma will never change. So that comma base 64 and the semicolon will always be there. So we can use that as a separator and separate this part from this part, and let's just get the second part here. Okay, cool. So what to do now? Source match is going to be a string, right? So if not empty, it's always good to check these things. If not empty, source match like that. Okay, because there are all sorts of situations you may not be yeah, source match 0 actually, because just like this other result, it's always in the 0 mark here. But instead of being an array like it was here, this is just going to be a string, because this is not preg match all. It expects to just get one result, so it doesn't make an array. But this expects many results, so it makes it an array. So that's a string, right? So now we need to extract, like I said. So we're going to say parts. I'm just going to call it parts here because there'll be two parts. We want to do an explosion, and like I said, it's the base64 part, comma, that we're going to use as a center part, and then there'll be two parts that will come of this. So let me grab that source and put it here like that. Okay, cool. So now there are two parts. We don't need the first part because that's the part that has the data type. Now, if you're going to try to check what the data type is, you may need that first part, but I won't be needing it. So it's going to make two parts. One part will have, part 0 will have this only, and part 1 will have the rest of this. So that's the rest is what we want. So at this moment, we want to put it on file. So here we're going to say file put contents. So say file put contents like that. So first of all, you need a file name where you want to put this. And then second of all, you need the data. Now, the data is going to be parts 1 like that. The second part of that array, because the first part is 0 like that. Cool. But now we need to define what file name is. And second of all, remember that this is encoded in base64, which means it's not a valid JPEG file. So what we really need to do is use a function that PHP gave us. It's called base64. Now there are two of these functions. There's the encode and decode. So when you're encoding, if you're saying I'm encoding to base64, that means you are converting to base64. Decoding is undoing. It's like base64 decode, you're getting it from base64 to another format. So that's what we need to do, because it's already in base64. We just have to undo that. So base64 decode, good. But what about the file name? So let's continue. Let's make a file name. Now with this, we need to put this inside the normal uploads folder that we're going to have. Now this is entirely up to you. You may want to upload files directly into the particular plugin folder, right? Because then you can just delete the plugin and everything it has if you need to. So we can do that actually. Let me just say plugin folder, not the HTTP version, just the plugin folder, and then in there I'm going to put uploads folder / like so. So as you can see in basic pages, we don't have that folder in there yet. So if we see it being created, then we know something is up. Now the thing is, instead of starting with file name, I'm going to start with folder. That way I create the folder if it does not exist. So let's actually do that right at the top here, so we don't have to. So I'm gonna go over here and I will say folder is equal to, that's the folder. Now if file exists, or let's put the folder in there. Now we are only interested if it does not exist, then we make it, make dir, and then the path name is the folder, but let's give it some permissions. Let's make it recursive. That's good. Okay, so true means in case the folders before, in case you had many folders here you wanted to create, it will create all of them to get to the one you want. Alright, so we make sure the folder exists. So file name here will be obviously equal to folder at least. And then we need an actual file name. Don't we? Now, at this moment, for now, I'm just going to give it a random name, but we'll perfect that and grab the name from the file itself. So for now, all I'm going to do is use the time function to create a unique what is this? Unique int integer. That's what I was trying to say. So we're going to assume the file is a JPEG. So this is why it's better we get the name from the actual file. So we'll put .jpeg there, and there's this dot here, don't forget that. Okay, so folder, the file, boom. Now I want to be able to know this one, so what I'm going to do is put base64 at the end, just so we know the difference between this file and others, just so we know this is from this operation. Okay, so then we save that file. So let's see if it's going to do this part at least, and then we can call it a day. So let me go here and let's get back to this. So let me clean that up and let's hit save again. So we have an error. It says call to undefined function plugin folder. Right. Wait, plugin folder is not known. Ooh. Wait. Haven't we like used this many times before? Okay, maybe I've missed something. Let me go back to the plugin folder, because I know when I'm including file, it's plugin path. Ooh, yep, that is true. Computers never lie, so just have to check when you're being given an error. So it's not folder, it's path. My bad. Okay, so let's keep going. Let's try again, because this was a fatal error, which means the script didn't continue. So let me hit save again. Okay, so it gave us an empty string, which means everything went well, I assume. So what we're gonna do is go back to our project and just see if our folder was created. And look there, our folder was created, uploads folder. And in there is a file. Look at that. This is pretty cool. But why only one image? This is the thing here. We should have had more than this. So pretty much, if is array, so this was an array, right? And then we looped through it. And how many times did we loop through this? I'm beginning to wonder. Maybe I should have put a G here for global. Okay, what I want to do is just echo out a count here. I'm just gonna say count match 0. I just want to know how many items were actually extracted here. So count 0, that, let's say my count, just so I know this is what I'm trying to do here. My count is equal to blah blah blah. Okay, cool. So let's try this again, and I'm going to end that and hit save again. Okay, array to string conversion, where is this? On line 37. Fatal must be countable, argument 1 must be countable. On count, it is not an array, so it isn't an array. What is going on? So line 37 is this. Right. Okay, so my bad. I should move this here, like so. Okay. Ooh. Let's try again. Hit. So there's 2 items in there, which is good. So why did the second one not work out? Source. Okay, cool. But let's try here again and see how many times we went through the loop. Source match 0. Let me paste here. Okay, I just want to see how many times it's passing through that loop when I do this. Okay, so that's the first time and the second time. So it does go through this 2 times at least. So that's good. Then, which is weird now. Oh, I see what's happening. Okay, sorry, these are things you may not foresee. But what's happening is that because the computer is so fast in doing these things, time is the number of seconds since 1970 up to today. So if this whole thing happens within a second, within a split second, then it means this will be the same on both occasions, which means it's going to replace the original file. So what I need to do is put a random number before or after. So I'm going to say 1000, or just 0 to 1000, a random number between those 2 points, so that we have 2 separate file names. Yeah, so it's working just fine. It's just that it was replacing the same file twice. So what I'm going to do is go to my folder. Now there's many of these files. Let me delete all of them. So I'm going to delete all these images that we've saved in there so far. That's good. And then come back, delete, and hit save again. Okay, cool. So now I expect to see 2 images in this folder. That one and that one. Very good. So now we've successfully extracted the images from the content. Unfortunately, those images are still in the content there, so we need to replace them with the file names, and also we need to resize these images in case the user put very heavy images there, because we don't want to slow down our website. Alright, so let's do those things in the next video.